Here's the shot out of a cannon. Oprah, Barbara Walters, your wife. You gotta fuck one, marry one, kill one. Go!
The Jets' offensive line was nothing short of Swiss cheese this past season. This is fuck one, marry one, kill one. Offensive line edition.
J-E-T-S, Jets!
Alright, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget I am doing a poster giveaway for the Jamal Adams I Want You for the New York Jets poster. So hit subscribe, leave a comment on this video to be qualified. Alright, so let's quickly go over the rules again. If you get a fuck, that's a 1-year deal. You get a marry, long-term deal. Kill, we don't want to sign you. Players will be graded in 5 categories. Pro Football Focus grade, age, production, scheme fit, connection. We'll do a bonus category for how much money they're going to be worth. And then for scoring, you can earn up to 3 fighter jets, but beware of the butt fumble. You don't want to get a butt fumble. You get no points for butt fumbling. The Jets had their fair share of struggles this season with the offensive line. They were one of the top 6 highest paid lines in the league, but graded out as the 24th overall in terms of production. So money for production, not the best look from Mike McCagden's offensive line that he's assembled.
Let me give you guys something to think about. I haven't bought a shoe out of the store since the 6th grade.
All right, first up on our list is going to be Trent Brown, the 6'8", 380-pound left tackle from the New England Patriots. The Jets have Kevin Beachum under contract, but can cut him and save $8 million against the cap, so they could decide to move on from him and bring in Trent Brown. Brown graded out as a 71 overall in Pro Football Focus and is going to be 26 next season. I'm always a little leery about Patriots offensive linemen because it always feels like they're getting away with more holding than the rest of the league's allowed to get away with. And maybe it's just something all in my head and I'm just a biased Jet fan, so that's certainly possible. But it's something to keep in mind when you're bringing in, a left tackle. In terms of production, he played in 44 of 64 games. And when Von Miller was asked who the hardest tackle to go against in the NFL is, he brought up Trent Brown. He said he's so massive. He's absolutely a beast in terms of, his height, his weight, his arm length, all these different metrics. So when you hear, an elite pass rusher saying that, you just kind of perk up and you want to take a little more notice of him. Everything's not all great with Trent Brown. He did have 35 pressures allowed this season, and he was second worst in terms of quarterback hits with 12. So, obviously, maybe Beachum's the better way to go for this season. Connection-wise, he played with the Patriots this past year. He was with the San Francisco 49ers before that. We went up against them. I think when you can weaken a division rival while strengthening your offensive line, if that's the move we decide to make, is always a good move. So I'm going to give him 2 fighter jets for that one. In terms of money, he's probably going to be the highest paid offensive lineman this year. So I expect that to be a very expensive signing if we do decide to make it. But again, if we cut Kevin Beachum, you save $8 million. So you're not spending quite as much as you would normally think. So that is 13 overall fighter jets, and Trent Brown has earned a marry for this first round.
You see what happens when I'm mic'd up? We win. When I'm mic'd up, we'll win. So I'm going to be mic'd up for the rest of the season.
Rodger Saffold, 6'5", 323 pounds. This offensive guard is from the LA Rams. He's played his entire career with the Rams. There was one free agency period where he was going to go to the Raiders, but due to an injury checkup with his shoulder or whatever, he didn't. They voided that contract and he re-signed with the Rams. So he has had the thought to want to go somewhere else if the money's right, and we have plenty of money. Pro Football Focus grade, 72.8. He is the 9th highest guard rated this past season, and when you think you have 2 guards per team, that's not too shabby. He is 31 years old, so that's going to be a knock against him. You're not really going to sign him long term. Now, over his entire career, he's played in a bunch of different schemes, so I'm not worried about scheme fit in terms of, will he be able to play whatever blocking scheme we're doing. His worst season was 2015. He got hurt and wasn't able to finish out the whole season, but he's only missed 2 games the last 3 years. He's played in 111 of 144 games for the Rams. Connection-wise, Greg Williams was with the Rams on the defensive side of the ball when he was defensive coordinator there. So there's at least a little bit of a familiar face in the room. I don't think it's going to be a total, hey, we want you, or I want the Jets because Greg Williams is there, but, not the worst circumstance, I guess. In terms of money, I'm going to say it's a moderate signing. I don't think he's going to get a ton of money just because of his age. I think he's going to get a shorter deal, maybe 2-year deal. So with a score of 10, Rodger Saffold is going to get a fuck.
Time we had some guys really up their stock. Let's go to the University of Louisville. We saw this guy, the East-West game, John Miller, and he came out and really performed well today. I thought his athleticism was good. I thought he was fluid in drills. I thought he packed some punch when he hit the bag. And I talked to a couple of O-line coaches. They noticed him as well. All
right, so we're going to stay in the division for this next one. We got John Miller, the 6'3", 315-pound guard from the Buffalo Bills. He graded out as a 64.3 on Pro Football Focus, and he's going to be 26 years old at the start of the season. So age-wise, he's right where you want to sign, someone going into their prime. Now, Buffalo's got a ton of money, and Miller has expressed interest in staying in Buffalo. So if the Bills were to let him go after the offensive line issues that they had this past season, it could be a big red flag for the Jets. So you may want to keep an eye on that situation. Scheme-wise, he played with Josh Allen, and Josh Allen's known for running around and trying to create plays with his feet and extend plays. Our Sam Darnold is the same exact way, so I think as far as the scheme fit goes, Miller will be able to hold his blocks and be used to, extending that passing opportunity for the quarterback. He's played in 47 of 64 games, so production-wise, he's all right. Now, connection, obviously he's played with the Bills his entire career, so we have seen him over the course of the last few seasons. I don't know if we'll have that big of a connection. I mean, obviously the whole taking a division rival, player and boosting your own skill level is always a good thing, just like with Trent Brown. But I don't think John Miller's on the same level as a Trent Brown. So I think we could probably do better. I'm going to give John Miller a kill in terms of this category. I don't think he's someone we likely want to touch. I'd pass on John Miller.
He's made such leaps and bounds, but this is still his second year, and especially at that quarterback position, I think all of us know that we need to step up our game, our mental focus.
All right, number 4. We got Mitch Morse, the center, the 6'3", 305-pound center from the Kansas City Chiefs. Obviously had a great season this past year, graded out as 69.5. He'll be 27 at the start of the season. Mitch had a good year. I mean, you look at Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt was the rushing leader in the NFL prior to him getting released by the Chiefs. So run scheme-wise, if we're looking to bring in a Le'Veon Bell or a Mark Ingram or a Tevin Coleman, he could be one of the guys we want to look at if we want to establish that run game and kind of take some pressure off Sam Darnold. He played with Patrick Mahomes, so obviously that improv-style quarterback, just like we talked about with John Miller, he's used to holding his blocks and creating more time for that quarterback. In terms of production, he played in 49 of 64 games. He did miss time in 2017 with a foot injury, so that's where some of those games are missing. Price-wise, I think he's going to be pretty expensive. There's only 2 centers really on the market that are worth anything, and it's going to be him and Matt Paradis. So as far as a market goes, age-wise, everything, I think he'll be a pretty expensive hire. I believe the highest paid center is $11 million, so maybe he's right around there. But he gets a 10 fighter jet score, and I would absolutely marry Mitch Morse if we had the opportunity to do so.
Ryan on 1, Matt on 2. All right, play ball.
Pull. Oh.
Pull. Pull.
Shooting the pants off me right now.
You're still wearing pants.
All right, the final guy I want to talk about is one that a ton of teams are talking about. This guy's going to be the top center hitting the market. Matt Paradis, the center from the Denver Broncos, 6'3", 300 pounds. He graded out as a 79 overall on Pro Football Focus. I believe that was the highest grade of offensive lineman that we're looking at in this whole thing. 29 years old, so a little bit closer to 30, but still relatively young in terms of center years. Fit for scheme, obviously Philip Lindsay had a great season coming out of nowhere. One of those things where you can have, Le'Veon Bell or Mark Ingram or Tevin Coleman come in, and this guy's going to be a mauler. He'll be blocking left and right and hopefully getting the ball to the quarterback in a pseudo-consistent fashion. If I have to see Spencer Long or any other arid snaps again, I'm just going to go on a baby punching rampage. And that's not a good thing you want to see. In terms of production, he did play in 57 of 64 games. So he's relatively consistent as far as that goes. In terms of connection, I am going to give him a butt fumble just because he's from a small town in Idaho. The population's less than 900 people, and he played his college ball at Boise State. So I'm not sure if he's really looking to go to a big city team or even a New Jersey rural team. He may be looking to stay in one of the Midwest cities or one of the smaller market NFL teams that would make him feel maybe a little more comfortable. Overall, I'm going to give him an 11 fighter jet score, and I would absolutely marry Matt Paradis. I would sign him up long term, make him the rock that's going to protect Sam Darnold in the middle. You got to have that connection the same way we had Mangold, same way we had Kevin Mawai. You got to have that stud center to be able to communicate the pass protections, the different blocking schemes. You want to be able to get the ball to the quarterback on a consistent basis. I think center, in terms of all the offensive line positions, is going to be the position we need to look at the closest. In terms of these 5 guys, what would I pick in terms of, the fuck, marry or kill? John Miller, the only kill, so obviously that's that. I would put Rodger Saffold as my fuck. I think he is a very productive guard. I would definitely try to get him to replace James Carpenter, at least for 2 years maybe. And then for the marry, I would take Matt Paradis. I think center is so important, and I think he's the best one on the market. Go out, spend the money on him, make him the highest paid center in the league. We have the money. Don't play around with this kid. Is there anyone that I forgot on this list? Let me know down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you want to win that poster. As always, guys, go Jets.
J-E-T-S-J!